thrilled to have as my very special guest today, Pepe Vargas and Sophie Gordon of the Chicago Latino Film Festival. Hello, Pepe and Sophie. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Sophie.
Good to see you after a year and a half, I suppose.
Yeah, that is very true. So people at home, because I know you wouldn't know this, Pepe comes to us every single year to promote the Chicago Latino Film Festival. And we had originally planned to promote the festival in March. But of course, COVID-19 happened, a quarantine happened, a mandatory shutdown here happened. So we weren't able to make that happen. But we're back in a huge way. We're going to talk all about that and tell you that the good news, the festival is still happening this year. And I want to start off, Pepe, by just sort of asking you how difficult it can be for Latino filmmakers to have their work seen and acknowledged.
I mean, for Latinos and independence, it is extremely hard because when we speak about film in the U.S., it is kind of film Hollywood. They are so tied together. Yet we are doing something that is non-Hollywood, something that people do care. And we have a track history of that. Numbers, 500 people attended the first festival. And now it's more than 35,000 people who attend the festival. That means there are people waiting for these films. There are people, I wouldn't say fed up with the Hollywood, but definitely looking for an alternative to enrich their mind and their souls. And we happen to be the ones who are offering that opportunity. And that serves to the filmmakers, because a filmmaker from Spain or Latin America to come to the States and show his or her work is quite difficult. So we serve that purpose. We open a window for them to just come and be seen and secure an audience that is eager to come out and see the films. And we've been doing that for 35 years, and this is our 36th year. And the success of the festival is pretty much due to that. There are people eager to see these films, and we are, again, in between there, providing a service that the filmmakers enjoyed, and over the years they seek out the opportunity to come to Chicago. And so there is kind of a matching in there that we wanted to take advantage and keep doing this for as long as we can. I mean, the interest of people watching the films is what determines what we do.
Okay, and so how did you even come up with the idea to put together a film festival for Latino filmmakers, where you just, walking down the street and you said this would be fantastic, or what happened? Did you see how difficult it was for people to get that work acknowledged? How did that come together?
I mean, it's difficult, but I put that aside and I go for the fun. It's fun. It's exciting. It's sort of a love affair that I take seriously. The need is there. So in a way, we are blessed with the opportunity to do something that is needed and serves a purpose of sharing our culture and creating awareness about who we are as a family of many nations where different languages are spoken, and then the great diversity that exists among ourselves, and the difference that creates a very special culture. And that's what we deal with, and also try to get a sense of who we are as Latinos, as a family of these many different cultures and many nationalities. And it serves us to create a sense of unity as Latinos and how we can share that unity, which comprises a lot of diversity. And in that diversity is where the richness of our culture is. And there is no other tool that I know that serves this purpose better than film. And we have gone beyond film because we also do comedy, poetry, lots of music. And so that's the work that we do. And so we put aside the difficulties, which are really big, but overcoming them is a challenge that we take seriously, we work for, because we know the outcome is something that is really precious from any way and any angle you look at that, any perspective you look at. Otherwise, we would not be here after 35 years.
Very true. And you are still here after 35 years. This is year 36. Though 36 is going to look a little bit different from all of the previous years. Sophie, why don't you tell us how this festival is going to be different from the others that you've held so far?
Just go ahead, Sophie.
So we're extremely excited about the virtual festival. Of course, we were very much looking forward to the original festival that was going to take place in April, much like the festivals that have come before. We were so excited to greet both our audience and our filmmakers at that festival in person, and we will miss our audience and our filmmakers when the festival happens again in September. However, we really do think that this virtual festival is the best and the safest way for us to adapt to the challenges that are posed by COVID, not only to the film festival community, but also to movie going in general and going to theaters. We have 44 films, feature films this year in our virtual festival and 38 shorts. And each short is played before a feature film. Essentially, this is the overview of how things will work for the virtual festival. During the 10 days of the festival, each film will be available to rent and stream for a period of 3 days. It'll be a lot like renting any other film on any sort of rental streaming platform. Essentially, once you have your ticket, and the film becomes available for that 3-day window, you have that window to be able to watch the film that you purchased. So we will be selling, of course, individual tickets as well as 10 film passes, and those pre-order tickets will go on sale September 2nd. But we will also be sharing information that's a little bit more in depth on how exactly the rental and the film viewing process will work, so that we can make this as user-friendly a platform as we can for our audience. It's really awesome for us to think about this festival happening in a virtual way this year, because we get to do something new, which is watch these festival films from the comfort of our homes. And many of these films won't be widely available for another few months, another year, maybe more. And so it really is a new and special opportunity to be able to access those films from your home, especially during this time. So that's something that we're really excited about. One thing that we really wanted to preserve, however, from the physical festival is the opportunity for the audience to still be able to vote for each film that they see during the festival. This is really important to us. The ability for the audience to engage with the films that they're seeing is huge, and we really want to be able to preserve that aspect of the normal film festival in order to be able to create this collaborative event for everyone, and to be able to maintain this engagement with our audience and our films as a community of film lovers.
Okay, so let me have you, and I'll probably do this several times before the broadcast concludes, give us the dates of the festival, and then tell us the website where folks can go and get more information if they have other questions.
Sure. So the dates of the festival are going to be September 18th through 27th. It's a 10-day festival, the virtual festival. And if to learn more information, people can go to Chicago Latino Film Festival .org, I believe, in order to see our slate of films, in order to get more information about those films, and that will direct them to our platform in order to buy tickets and eventually be able to see these films once they become available on September 18th.
Okay, awesome. And speaking of seeing the films, ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat, because we're going to get a chance right now to preview some of the trailers of a few films that will be shown at this year's festival. And I have to tell you, I have seen these. You are in for a huge treat. These are phenomenal. Okay, I don't want to sort of delay this anymore, because I really want you guys to see these. I am actually going to ask Pepe to introduce the first film we're going to take a brief look at, and sort of tell us the name of it and give us a little bit of background.
Like I said before, the films are from many countries. And in this case, we're going to see the trailer of Juanita. It's sort of a dramatic comedy with a lot of social content dealing with immigration, dealing with love affairs, family issues, leaving the country in the pursuit of a better life, not coming to the States, because that we have had a lot of films dealing with this, but Juanita goes to Spain. And it's really not much of a difference. Goes there and has to work similar to any Mexican or Central American or anywhere, people who come from anywhere to the States, the type of jobs that they had to do, menial jobs, and start having immigration problems. And she has to leave the city and goes to the countryside and finds somebody who cares, and ultimately becomes a love affair and a way to return to her Dominican place. And I should not say any more than that, other than recommend you to see this film, and many others. I can't really make a particular recommendation, go and see this or that film. I highly recommend that you see as many films as possible. This is a great comedy. We had a great documentaries and thrillers and everything, but Juanita is one that I think, because of the subject that it touches, that as many people as can see, that will be a good treat for anyone. A learning experience, fun and enjoyable, and those with happy endings. So, but we have many of those as well. So watch the trailer, and I hope you sort of get encouraged by yourself to watch that film, and then many others.
All right, with that, here is the trailer for Juanita. I mean, take a look.
Había una vez una ranita que estaba sentada a la orilla del río. Entonces se le apareció un escorpión y le preguntó:
¿De dónde eres?
República Dominicana, en el Caribe. Yo soy Juanita. Oye, ranita, ¿me puedes cruzar subido en tu espalda? La ranita, muy sabichosa, le contesta: Ay, no. Si te subo a mi espalda me vas a picar.
¿Y qué hizo el escorpión?
¿Por qué no tiene ni hijo ni mujer? A pesar de que está medio feo, eso es que todavía hay cosas que funcionan.
El escorpión le dijo: Tú eres loca. Si te pico, nos dimos los dos. La ranita se queda pensativa y le dice sí. Y arrancan la travesía. Cuando van en el río, rodando por el río, a mitad del río, ¡zas! El escorpión picó a la ranita.
¿Tú eres el primo de Juanita?
No.
Si me enseñaste a querer también.
Pero dos hombres no pueden tener una misma casa, Juanita.
¿Y qué le trajería papi?
Tu mami me trajo un español, hija.
Jairo.
Tú tienes tu casa. Y yo he logrado escapar de la mía.
Tú llegaste de España en estos días y tú no sabes cómo diablos se están criando tus hijos. ¿Por qué tú siempre atacas? Por lo menos él siempre estaba ahí. Ya me deportaron al hombre para el mueble, caramba.
A mí no me han deportado, he ido yo.
Si te lo hice.
¿Tú sabes contar hasta tres?
Bueno, hasta ahí llego.
Ah, bueno, chulo, pues tú sabes bailar bachata entonces.
¿Por qué hizo eso? ¿También va a morir?
A veces, hija, lo único que importa es encontrar a alguien que quiera cruzar el río contigo.
Wow. I mean, that I want to go see that tomorrow. That that film looks amazing, and I have to tell you guys, that is only the beginning. We're going to take a look at a few others, as I promised, to just give you an idea of the wide array of films you can check out at this festival. Sophie, why don't you tell us what we're going to take a look at next?
So we're going to take a look at a film called Delphine. In programming the film festival, we really like to think that we have a little something to offer for just about everyone, for every kind of taste. And an important part of that in our programming is having multiple films that the entire family can enjoy. Films that are family-oriented or oriented towards kids, but this film is really one for everybody. Delphine is a film from Argentina about a little boy named Delphine who is a very talented French horn player, and he is trying to get to a nearby town in order to audition for a youth orchestra. And without telling you too much about the film, it is a film, of course, very much about music. It has a beautiful score of classical music, but it's also about a very complex bond between father and son. It's about responsibilities and perseverance and the tenacity of this little boy in reaching for his dreams. It's a really beautiful film. I highly encourage watching it. It's really one of those films that anybody can enjoy, but it's especially one that's wonderful to watch with the whole family around. So let's take a look at the trailer.
Y el sábado tenemos que ir a Junín. Van a armar una orquesta infantil en el Teatro Municipal.
¿Crees que vas a viajar 2 veces por semana a Junín?
Veremos. Necesito pedirte un favor.
Sí, bueno, pero es difícil lo que vos me pedís.
Pero es para hacer música. Y soy el único que lo sabe tocar en todo el pueblo.
Y bueno, y nosotros lo cuidamos para que vos siempre lo puedas tocar. Pero no para que se vaya a dar una vuelta de 50 kilómetros.
¿Se acuerda? Yo traje la carta para retirar el corno.
A mí nadie me avisó nada.
Necesito pedirte algo.
¿Qué?
Plata. Voy a dar una prueba para una orquesta. Es muy importante para mí. ¿Por qué me pusieron Delphine?
¿Vos sabés cuál es la casa de los delfines?
No.
Todo el mar.
That little boy is adorable. I can't wait to see, like, I haven't seen the film yet, but I'm already pulling for him and rooting for him. I mean, and I've only seen a trailer. This really looks like a remarkable piece of work. I just think that this is fantastic. And again, folks, there's more. We're not done. There are so many amazing films. I hear you said 44, correct, Sophie? The full length and then 38 short?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, so why don't we take a look at another film that's going to be shown at this year's festival? Pepe, tell us what we're going to see next.
I mean, I know there are people who will watch all of these films in 10 days because it's quite a trip. Now we are going to climb a mountain. This is a film that really makes that real, that kind of cliche, si se puede, or like Obama said, si se puede. Si se puede is, it can be done. Is endurance, is the will to accomplish things. And is women. These women who have so much power within and also physically endurance to be able to claim the highest mountain in the Andes. We have seen a lot of films, lots of documentaries of people trying to go to the Mount Everest, and with all of that equipment and special food and training and everything they have, and it's a sport that is very costly. But seeing these women, Indian women, doing that is something that really grabs your attention and gets into something that is within us that forces us to really feel sympathy for them, become a part of their quest, and really climb with them and feel the pain of, and then naturally the joy when they get to the top of the mountain. And it's not men, it's women, and they go with all their Indian attire and the equipment. And it's just beautiful because of the environment where it happens. But seeing the story of courage, determination, that is something that is really unbelievable. And again, is another recommendation along with another 40 films that you had to see. Trust me, you will enjoy this film and many other more.
A nosotros nos discriminaban, ¿no? Por ser aymaras y indígenas, ¿no?
La mujer siempre tiene que estar cocinando, lavando.
Yo decía, ¿por qué? Y siempre yo tenía esa curiosidad de poder ir a la cumbre, hacer cima. ¿Y por qué no lo podemos hacer también las mujeres? ¿Por qué no podemos ir a escalar?
Confiamos en ti, vas a llegar.
Con 70 y 80 kilómetros por hora en su cumbre es imposible.
Parecía sueño para mí ir a enfrentarme a la montaña de Aconcagua, que es más alta de Sudamérica.
Ya no te voy a poder llamar. Chao.
Te sientes como si estuvieras volando encima de las nubes.
Yo misma ya me siento libre de poder hacer, ¿no?, lo que yo quiero.
Solo Dios sabe por qué ha llegado esta oportunidad y yo no tengo que desperdiciar.
Okay, so if I can just sort of say, this film almost made me cry. Just watching that trailer, and this is a documentary. Firstly, I love documentaries. Those are by far my favorite sort of film to watch. But when you talk about, you know, women, especially women of color, sort of being strong and being powerful and being determined, and sort of watching these women say, hey, like, we're going to do this, and you can like feel the determination even in the trailer. And I was really just, I mean, taken by that, right? I haven't even seen the whole thing, but I thought that it was wonderful to just sort of see that side of women conveyed in a documentary, and watch them do this thing that few people, you know, myself included, would probably never try. More to come still. Sophie, tell us what we're going to see next.
So we're going to take a look at one of the many short films that we have to show this year. We really love our short films at the Chicago Latino Film Festival. We get such an incredible number of short films that are just amazing, submitted to us every year, and it is super hard to choose the, you know, select few that we're able to share with our audience, because the thing is, short filmmaking is far harder than it may seem. I mean, it is really a challenge to be able to make a short film that is that perfect slice of a larger story without trying to portray too much and without us feeling like something is missing at the end. A good short is hard to do, and we're very, very proud to be able to share them, these amazing shorts that we've been able to curate with our audience. The other thing is that short films are really difficult to see outside of the setting of a film festival or a special screening, a shorts program that is specially curated for that purpose. And so we're really proud to be able to offer short films as an integral part of the festival experience to our audience. As I mentioned earlier, each short is played before a feature film, and they come as a package together. So this one that we're going to take a look at is just a very, very small taste of the 38 shorts that we have to share with you this year. This short is called Mermaid Island, And it's a really beautiful short film from Venezuela. And it's about two young girls who are best friends. And they decide to leave their town in order to find an island where it is rumored that mermaids live. And, you know, it's a short film, so I definitely don't want to give too much away, but this film uses elements of magical realism to portray a story in which childhood imagination and idealism are met with a much harsher reality for these girls. So here's the trailer.
Mamá, ¿de verdad existen las sirenas?
Claro que existen.
Mira, ¿y entonces? ¿Sí o no? No. Yo no me quiero escapar. Espérame.
Okay. And there we have it. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I thought that looked pretty intriguing. I can't wait to check that out and actually see what happened. I mean, not just in that short, but really in everything that we've seen so far. Like, I definitely want to see how these stories come together. This is just amazing work. And I encourage, obviously, everybody in Chicago to really get out and see all that Chicago has to offer virtually. And this really seems like an amazing way to get that done. One thing that I felt like I saw in all of these films was that sort of travel and expedition and exploring was a major theme. And I wanted to know if that is at all reflective of the Latino culture, that sort of getting out and being an explorer and being a voyager is important and is significant.
I think, yeah, film reflects who we are, and that's what these creative minds do, and put a film together and show really the soul and the spirit of people, what they do, and we just have seen a sample of that, a sample from Dominican Republic, Argentina, Venezuela, and what was the other one that we saw, Bolivia. So we saw that, and then we keep going. Pretty much every country represented. There are stories that are unique to the country, yet they are very universal. It could happen anywhere else. And that's what we wanted to do, share these cultures, and that is what we invite people to visit our country without leaving Chicago. And this time, thanks to the pandemic, without leaving their homes. And actually the whole family can watch these films. We don't mind, because that is the idea of this, share this with as many people as possible. Unfortunately, this time you can see with just one single ticket, sit down, and the whole family can see the film. Perhaps accompanied with a good glass of wine or a meal, and having a family reunion. And that's the wonderful thing, that we should be grateful for the bad thing. The pandemic is something bad, but it has something good on that. And that's what we seek out, what good is in there. And I think that is one of the good things that is there for the family to get around and watch these films, talk about them, share with that, encourage other people to go to our website and seek out these films, Chicago Latino Film Festival.org, and get involved, get engaged, and that is the only way the festival will be alive for the years to come.
And to sort of wind us down here, what will success look like for you during a virtual festival? Will it be the same as before, or is this year a little different? How do we measure success of this film festival during a pandemic?
Go ahead, Sophie.
Well, I mean, with the virtual festival, we don't necessarily have the opportunity to engage in the same way that we do in the physical festival. you know, it is so nice to be able to see everyone's faces as they walk into the door, as they sit in the theater, but this is a different experience. But we are trying to create ways in which the audience can still engage with the films, as well as with the filmmakers for this virtual festival, you know, connecting each other throughout the world and just from our homes. And so, you know, the audience participation of being able to vote for films is very important to us because that engagement is huge. To be able, we have 3 awards for the Audience Choice Awards: Best Narrative Feature, Best Feature Documentary, and Short Film. And being able to engage the audience in a way where they get to choose the films that they love is really important to us, because we're not a traditional, we are not a film festival that has juried competitions as many others do, because for us it is more about the experience of the audience being able to enjoy the films than necessarily like awarding these films and the filmmakers for, you know, for their ability to, you know, for prize money or bragging rights. Like for us, it's important for the audience to be able to be enjoying their films. And so that's something that's very important to us. And we're really trying to, we've always been engaged on social media as long as that's been around, but we're trying to connect our filmmakers and our audience members on social media as we lead up to the festival and as well as during the festival. And so that's something that's very important to us as well.
Okay, and with that, Pepe, is there anything else you'd like the people at home to know before we get ready to go?
We are going beyond Chicago. With the in-person festival, people had to go to the theaters. Now we are going everywhere in the state of Illinois. And so anyone who hears this, make sure that you log in ChicagoLatinoFilmFestival.org, and people in Springfield, Peoria, and everywhere in the state can see these films. And again, in closing, I would say we will be missing the in-person because that energy is irreplaceable. And so we could sit down and suffer because of that, or do something and engage people in what we have. And that is simple. We have to do what we can with what we have, not we wish we had. And we had the in-person, we don't have that opportunity. We are hopefully be at the theaters next year. It doesn't depend on us, it depends on the entire universe, and we live with that hope. But in the meantime, enjoy these films, engage others, invite people to be part of, and learn, travel, and discuss, and really look out for more to come. Thank you. It was good.
Yeah, this was fantastic. Again, Pepe and Sophie, thank you so much for being here today as our special guests. It's always a joy to have you here at CAN TV.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
It's our great pleasure. Again, to everyone at home, thank you so much for watching. CAN TV is going to continue to bring us the latest information of everything happening in our city. Certainly more wonderful events like this. So continue to watch this space. Thank you so much and have a fantastic rest of the day.